Welcome back to Anime Fight Club, everyone. My name is Grim. Today we are ending Volume 22 of Baki Dou Part 1, or Musashi Dou. The fight between Baki and Musashi has concluded, and I'm sure these last 3 chapters are just going to wrap up probably just the whole situation, but we'll complete this volume, chapter 195 through 197, chapter 195, entitled Crime. Pulse. Respiration. So they have Musashi's cloned body hooked up to a bunch of wires and readers and testers and analyzers. Blood pressure, temperature, all readings are normal. So the body's still alive, it just isn't housing the soul right now. As you can observe, team leader Konomura Hitoshi, paleontologist John Horner. His brain waves are flatlined. His soul left this world. Yes, it was that day. The body returned to its empty shell state. Tokugawa puts his hand on the doctor. Is it going to be alright? Nomura? Please, leave it to me. I will show you that we can effectively freeze a moment in time here. Oh wow, so they're planning to freeze his body, what, for another to house someone else? Who else would you bring back? Ladies and gentlemen, alright, so comment below. Who else would you think would be a good fighter to be brought back from history? Someone in the Japanese era, the Japanese history, or any other? Who else, what actual person would you like to see them bring back to fight our grapplers? So apparently they're going to preserve this body in time somehow. They fill this containment pod up with liquid. Musashi starts to float. What is this fluid? Asked Tokugawa. Liquid nitrogen. So it should freeze him. Its temperature is about minus 200 degrees Celsius, I heard. No, at the moment we are still keeping it around 0 degrees, and from here on gradually we will be lowering it. Half a degree in 6 hours. The final number will be minus 196 degrees in 6 weeks. We have adopted a super slow cooling method. With the cells not be destroyed during that freezing time, our team had already overcome this problem about 2 years ago. I would advise you to keep this secret for the time being, but from the tube that is inserted in his mouth, we are delivering a brand new medicine that our team has developed. We assess 0.9 milligram in a minute. Little by little is swallowed. Through the usual digestive process, about 20 liters, he will have digested 20,000 milliliters in 15 days, and it will have spread to every single cell at the nanomolecular level. The freezing liquid that does not manage to freeze will spread out. In simple words, the liquid will not destroy the cells. Our team's science is not perfect enough to make him last forever, but he'll be good for 500 years. How about the blood freezing? The tubes that are connected to his thighs are connected to the aorta and vena cava. The recycling is progressing smoothly. After 77 hours in the beginning of the week, the anti-freezing liquid will have filled all the blood vessels. Thank you, Mr. Nomura. Thank you everyone for such fine work. They all kind of blush a little bit. Even though in the modern era, Miyamoto Musashi has committed many heinous crimes, we are still going to take care of him. After all, this is our precious specimen. And Tokugawa, of all people, starts to tear up. Musashi will remain alive. Okay. So that's their plan. So maybe we'll see him in the future. Maybe they'll bring him back in Baki Dou 2019 to fight Nomi. Could you imagine? So our fighters are looking at something with extremely bright light. I can only imagine it's Hanayama waking up out of his coma, out of the hospital. Chapter 196, in memoriam. Okay, now they're all looking at Musashi frozen in this tank or freezing in this tank. We have adopted a preservation method with liquid nitrogen. It's been 5 days since then, and 24 hours it's going down slowly by 2 degrees. In 5 days, the liquid temperature is minus 10 degrees. The final number of minus 196 degrees will be reached in about 5 weeks. So they're all looking around just at the vastness of this facility. Like, how long has this been here? Are you serious? This where he came from? As you can see, Musashi will remain alive. Look at Baki's face. None of them really like the sound of that. With this preservation method, are you thinking about reviving him someday? Or maybe what? Do you plan to keep Miyamoto Musashi in this permanent preservation state, old man? Do you have any problems with it? We are not talking about my opinion of the circumstances. Don't you tell me that from now on, we have to live thinking that someday this guy will open his eyes and meddle in our affairs all over again. And he like, yeah, tell me something. Are you planning to wake him up on your own? Like, you already did this on your own and made us have to fight him. Like, you didn't make us, but I mean, you brought him back on your own and we all felt his presence and had to act on our own. Everyone, take a look at him. Is this the living body of Miyamoto Musashi? Obviously, he is not alive in the sense of the word. Well, is he dead then? That is not correct either. The time has stopped for him. What you see here is Miyamoto Musashi's perfectly preserved body. Should we do the cremation process and hold a service for his burial? I do not and will not agree to that. Musashi has embarked on a journey and someday he will return. So I will continue to preserve his original home, his body. These three are just like, oh, okay, that's where your head's at. That's the sincerity of a traveler from time and space. Even if he doesn't come back, we are still going to preserve his original home. Aren't you going to say that this is a true service? And they're all feeling a little guilty, just like, Baki, can I talk to you for a little bit? Hey? Baki goes off with Tokugawa, walking down this hallway. The ogre, Hanma Yujiro, when he squeezes a cold piece, he adds an astronomical pressure with his mythical grip. When he opens it, it seems that there is a real diamond in his palm. That rumor is too mythical even for him, thinks Baki. But if you challenge him to do it, he probably will pull it off, just because he is Hanma Yujiro and that's his style. It's his presence alone that makes me think he can do it. Is this... What do you think this is? I'd say a special rock. As you can see, this is not a myth or a rumor. This is a diamond made by a strong man. His name is Sukune. Oh wow, this is awesome that Keisuke had all of this planned even at the end of Baki Dou Part 1. Sukune? Chapter 197, from now on. You can't mean him, Nomi no Sukune himself, the one and only, yes. Do you know him? The grand ancestor of sumo wrestling? He was the one that invented that barehanded competition, Japan's oldest competitive sport. He was the undefeated champion. This conversation is going to be faster than I thought. That's the man, Nomi no Sukune. Answer me, old man. Are you planning to clone him next? This was originally a coal piece. Was it just a coal piece? An ordinary coal that you can find anywhere. But Sukune grabbed it with his invincible power and it turned it into this diamond. Yes. You're pulling my leg, old man. I'm not buying it. He grasped a cold piece that was the size of an apple as tightly as he wanted it to disappear. Underneath the black surface, suddenly a sparkling diamond appeared. You can say that he partially turned a cold piece into a diamond with his invincible power. Partially, huh? But it's a completed diamond now. A 200 gram, 1,000 carat piece. The one who finished it is the second generation Sukune. The second generation? It had been about 2,000 years since the first one. 272 generations had been born since then. All the Sukunes after the original tried to grasp this coal. But the coal remained just like a simple coal piece. Normally, none of them could turn the coal into a real diamond. Even a tiny bud with just 2 leaves could turn into a tree in time. Before long, with the pressure from its surroundings, it grew into a giant tree. Finally, the tree became a sacred great sage tree that dominated the field. It grew naturally in pace with time. And a young man from the family has surprisingly grown this year. On the day of the festival, he reached an unusual 6'6" of height for a Japanese man. He finished the pilgrimage journey to the altar. And after he clasped his hands in prayer, he stretched his hand to grab the coal piece seated on the shrine. A monk, Seimei Koki, 26 years old, told us about it. It was truly a miracle. The piece was about this big, about the size of an apple. He grasped it as tightly as if it was a small sponge. The carbon piece was fragile and easy to break, but it was sealed inside his grip strength. He grasped it tightly, so tightly, so tightly, and finally, it turned into the hardest substance in the world. Look at Baki. He's folded his arms, tilted his head like, nah. The strongest successor of Nomi no Sukune was born in this time here. Wow. If they would have continued this image for Nomi, he would have been super scary. But Nomi has no packs, at least from what I can remember of Baki Dou 2018. This would have been scary to see. Even the Nomi though that we know today is still terrifying. In Japanese, the words sumo wrestler contains the word power and man, rikishi. So had I went through this the first time, I would have known what that meant. Final chapter, Nomi no Sukune. Hey, aren't they known more as sumo wrestler, written as sumo tori in this way? So just how strong is a sumo riki compared to a regular person? Compared to other martial artists, how strong are they? Wait, I gotta go back. Oh, they gonna put a, could you imagine Nomi about to tackle a normal person? Or Katsumi? Oh my goodness. Has it been proven in fact? Yes, we've seen it. We have seen famous strong men with riki bodies boxing on the ring. Yes, the results were deplorable, but those men are not strong riki. They are former strong riki. So they showed us this man's regular hair and then the cut off ceremonial hairstyle of rikishi. The differences between ones with active duty aren't small. A sumo match is very short, say about 10 seconds more or less. It's rare to see one that exceeds a minute, compared to 12 rounds of 3 minutes each in pro boxing matches, just 10 seconds. In Muay Thai kickboxing, it's about 10 to 15 minutes, and MMA, it's about 15 to 25 minutes. Just 10 seconds. It's incredibly short. In the track and field event running short distance, with all their human power invested, they will reach their limit in about 10 to 20 seconds. The power that the Rikishi sumo wrestlers have What's attached to him? What is this? Muscles, body fat, flexibility, cardiopulmonary power. All of them are just for those 10 seconds. The 10 seconds of the Rikishi. For example, say a champion of mixed martial arts is facing a sumo wrestler, barehanded. He is facing a sumo wrestler who has been prepared for throwing and kicking. Even though he has been trained well for low kicks, can it stop the sumo wrestler in 10 seconds? Can he knock a powerful sumo wrestler with his timely counter? Can he take down the sumo wrestler with a high-speed tackle? Look at a young Baki over here. The same. They are in small shrines. Why don't they have a six-pack? Why don't they have the endurance to run long distance? Why do they eat that much? Why isn't there a sign to start the match? Why don't they wear high-performance shoes? They compete in mysterious round jungles. To analyze a sumo wrestler's body, we need to solve the mystery of the body fat. If you want to solve the puzzle, you will have to strip the core of the puzzling body of the strong man Rikishi. If every sumo wrestler looked like this, I think the culture would have much more world-renowned respect. Like, all the sumo wrestlers that come to mind are jokes. We want to dissect and explore into the extreme density of the 10 seconds match, so let's do it. So he's telling us that the next saga, the next Baki Dou, which is Baki Dou 2018, we've already, 20 something, 30 chapters into it. And it's something so far. Baki and Nomi have actually finally went ahead and met up. They're fighting already at the moment. So I will link the playlist to Baki Dou 2018 in the description. It'll also be the next video at the end of this video if you guys haven't checked it out. Some of those videos are the ones I was doing when I first started my channel, so the audio isn't great. Made some mistakes in like the first several chapters of Baki Dou 2018, so you'll have to kind of work with me if you decide to go through that. Just notice the development as I've learned throughout this YouTube thing. So check that out. Hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. I hope to see you guys over there as we go through that, as those chapters come out week by week or every other week or every month, however they're doing it. King and Ashura will double up now, and Vagabond will take King and Ashura's place. So I hope you guys are excited for that. I hope you guys will catch up with King and Ashura. A lot of you have given it a chance, but all of you have not done so. So Baki's done as far as this channel goes. Well, I'll continue to do Baki 2018, and when the anime comes out, I'll review that episode by episode. But as far as this manga goes, I'm not starting back with the original. So I hope you guys will continue to rock with me. There's plenty of other great fighting manga out there that I plan on going through. I hope to see you guys along for the ride. Please hit the bell notification so you don't miss anything. The playlists are in the description, as well as Grim Games. Hope to see you next video. Thanks for following me through the Baki universe. And as always, otaku for life.